So, it's election day. Cue screaming! Actually, here at Classy Whale, we have a better alternative to lighten up your day. Here are 44, not politically charged in the least, fun facts about every US president. George Washington had no middle name. John Adams was nicknamed his Rotundity. Thomas Jefferson invented the swivel chair. James Madison was the shortest president at only 5'4". James Monroe was the last president to run with barely any competition. John Quincy Adams had a pet alligator. Andrew Jackson escaped his post-inaugural reception through a window. Martin Van Buren is said to have coined the term okay. And for the record, his facial hair was pretty awesome too. William Henry Harrison was only president for a month before his death. John Tyler had 15 children and 2 of his grandchildren are still alive. James K. Polk was the first president to govern from coast to coast. Zachary Taylor had never voted before he ran for president. Millard Fillmore was our last president who wasn't a Democrat or a Republican. We actually had a president named Franklin Pierce. James Buchanan was sent a herd of elephants while in the White House. Abraham Lincoln and Charles Darwin were born on the same day. Andrew Johnson grew up poor without a formal education. Ulysses S. Grant got a speeding ticket driving a horse and buggy. Rutherford B. Hayes was the first president to have a telephone in the White House. James A. Garfield was ambidextrous. Chester A. Arthur never had a vice president. Grover Cleveland married Frances Folsom during his first term as president. He had known her since her birth. Benjamin Harrison was the grandson of William Henry Harrison. Grover Cleveland had surgery on his jaw on a boat in the middle of the Potomac River in the middle of the night during his second term as president. William McKinley had a parrot that could whistle Yankee Doodle. Theodore Roosevelt was homeschooled for much of his childhood. William Howard Taft was the last president to have facial hair while in office. Woodrow Wilson is the only president buried in Washington, D.C. Warren G. Harding had the largest feet of any president. Calvin Coolidge had a pet raccoon. Herbert Hoover participated in the first long-distance television broadcast. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was related to 11 other presidents. Harry S. Truman's middle name was simply S. Dwight D. Eisenhower was the first president to ride in a helicopter. John F. Kennedy came from a wealthy family and donated the entirety of his presidential salary to charity. Lyndon B. Johnson was the tallest president. Richard M. Nixon could play 5 different instruments, but he never learned to read music. Gerald R. Ford was never elected as vice president or president. Jimmy Carter was the first president to be born in a hospital. Ronald Reagan took to jelly beans as part of an attempt to give up pipe smoking, and he ended up receiving regular shipments of jelly beans throughout his presidency. Starting with his 75th birthday, George Bush Sr. has gone skydiving every 5 birthdays. Bill Clinton played in a jazz trio in high school called the Three Blind Mice. George W. Bush collects baseballs, while Barack Obama prefers Spider-Man comic books. And since many of you will be watching this video after the election, Trump Tower was used as the Wayne Enterprises Tower in the movie The Dark Knight Rises, and Hillary Clinton wrote to NASA as a child, only to get a response saying that girls could not be astronauts. So there you are, 44 presidential facts to brighten your day. Now go out and vote for insert preferred presidential candidate here so that I pander to your political viewpoint in a vain attempt to get more subscribers. Ta-ta!